keep your arms and legs inside until this ride comes to a full and complete stop.
Flash Online. Here we go, Flash versus Lita, some Terran versus Terran on Polaris Rhapsody. You know, I was going to make a comparison earlier to the Expendables, but I forgot. I do that a lot in commentaries. I think it's something funny to start out the game with, and then I completely forget to say it. So I save it for another commentary. But yes, I'm starting to think about this comparison, because there's like 8 guys in the round of 8. There's about 8 guys in the billing for the Expendables. And I was starting to think who would be who. And as soon as this popped up, I knew it. Arnold Schwarzenegger is Flash and Jet Li is Lita. Lita, Lee? Coincidence? I think not. But here we go. This is going to be excellent. I am Flash. I am Mr. Freeze. I will store your frozen goods. Here we go. Feels like it's been a while since I've done a Terran versus Terran. I know that's not true. Well, maybe it is. I'm not sure. Lita, only typing out 1A, 1A, 2A, go. Good luck, good luck. I will store your hungry men. Except down at the 5 o'clock position, in yellow is Flash. Flash in yellow. Not twitching as much. So up at the 10 o'clock position in red is Lita. Now Lita is a very creative Terran versus Terran player. He's fought Flash in the past, had some pretty good games with him. Of course, the most notable being on Medusa, when he went for nukes. He was able to kill 1 tank with nukes, even though he nuked several times. Flash caught it. You see such map hacks, it is ridiculous. Every time he heard nuclear launch detected, they went to the first-person perspective of Flash. He was looking all over the place, scanning, looking up and down, and eventually he'd find it. And one time he lost 1 tank to it because he pulled up his tanks, unsieged them, and got them all away except for 1. It's pretty awesome. But let's get some predictions from the Nukenites. Cheng5210 writes, I come from the future. Finals, Jaedong versus Flash. Results, Jaedong 3, Flash 1. End of story. God, spoilers, man. I hate people from the future. They're always spoiling things. But alright, Lita is actually going to do a proxy barracks. Of course, this isn't horrendously cheesy in this matchup. This could just be for early scouting. He's going to try to get a bit lucky, go in with a couple of Marines. But if he can't lock this down with a couple of Marines, he's just going to float over with that barracks and get the scout. So it's not usually a big risk to put your barracks out like this, forward barracks. Flash is looking around for cheesiness. He's looking for a barracks near his base. Of course, can he find it? Does he have the map hacks to find this barracks? I'm not exactly sure. He's going straight to Lita's base, so he's going to know about this eventually, but he's not going to see the barracks. I'm surprised. Flash always has such epic anti-cheese sense. He goes straight for what's hidden out there in the map. But Flash, working his way in, he's going to notice the lack of barracks and start to get very suspicious. Might even pull a few SCVs off the line to try to intercept that barracks in the field. But okay, I think Lita has a couple of Marines on the way. Luckily, Flash started building his barracks, so he's not going to be too far behind as far as Marine production goes. So let's get another prediction from Arathorn, 1973, writes, Flash, by all rights, should crush Lita. Lita has had Flash's number in the past, though too many times. Flash desperately wants the Triple Crown, and I'd love to see him get it. But back-to-back double finals are too much, even for the Terminator. My upset prediction is Lita 2-0 over Flash, stunning the world. It looks like Lita is not going to be able to shut this down with his proxy barracks. Nice hair. So, okay, Flash has plenty of production of the Marines now, and he started building his factory already, so he's going to be just fine. Lita's going to float over his barracks most likely just to get the scout and everything that's inside of Flash's base. And the observers are pointing out that Flash is only mining gas with one SCV, so most likely working on that second base, which Lita is probably doing too. That was probably his plan. Yes, he is trying to put down the second base. Flash denying that as long as he possibly can with that SCV. But now, after that exciting opener, it has gone back to pretty standard TVT, I think. Flash putting down his command center inside of his main, going to float it over soon. And I don't think Flash is in any danger for the time being. He is so good at defense. He's even going to be able to take down this barracks if Lita doesn't get out of here. I mean, Lita, I'd say just float that barracks off. If he loses this, it's going to make it very tough to fight back Flash. You have to rebuild his barracks to build more factories. So I think he'll be able to get this out of harm's way. Flash is microing his Marines very heavily to take down this barracks. He knows he has a chance to get it into the red. If he gets it into the red, that's going to be it for the barracks, as Flash is getting over his command center. That's what Lita wanted to see. He floated over to see if Flash was going to have his command center ready to go, ready to float over, and he does. But now Lita is going to most likely lose that barracks, so hopefully he has all the factories he wants to get down right now. Let's get another prediction. While this barracks is not in red, Lita saves it. There's another prediction from Lunar Faith. Right, go Flash, you can't beat Mapak. Another prediction from Quad Striker writes, Lita wins 2-0, Flashinites, QQ all the way home. I don't think Flash can have Flashinites. Well, I guess if I can have Nukenites, he can have Flashinites. Flash floating over his base is going to be a tad behind Lita, but not too far behind. Already transferring his SCVs over. And this map is, well, any two-player map in general, these days, anyway, the two-player maps are designed to be, it seems to be a very long TVT game type of maps. Because it takes a while to... well, it's hard to explain because you need drops and stuff like that to take down a Terran player when you get to this stage in TVT. But if you go in with drops, I mean, it's a two-player map, so your opponent's most likely going to see it coming a mile away and know to counter it. So that's why you see Terran versus Terran on two-player maps going so long sometimes. I mean, I've seen so many Chupong Ryon games go to 45 minutes, 1 hour. So, yeah, Polaris Rhapsody isn't much different than Chupong Ryon when you come right down to it. Lita trying to sneak in. Look at that one single tank block from Flash. That was hilarious. Just one tank blocking the choke with its girth. Gotta love the tank. And Flash actually pretty much took those down with SCVs, so Flash is in Flash mode. Going straight up with his tanks, and he has tanks. Lita has vultures, still focusing only on vultures. So these tanks are going to destroy the vultures if he runs into the vultures in the field, but no, Lita's going to skirt by him and manage to sneak into this main and get some harassment. In fact, he's only sticking at the natural expansion with some harassment, but Flash knows he's going to have the tanks there to protect this, so he's not too bad off. He's not going to be in a bad position at all. Oh man, a nice mine drag by Lita. Flash was a little bit careless there. He is going to repair, though, luckily for him. He's not going to be completely destroyed by that. And Lita going into tanks now. Of course, both guys are working on siege. I have a feeling that Flash is going to have that up sooner. But all right, Flash trying to hold his own with his tanks out in the field, not be surrounded at the same time. Flash doing his best to micro and take out the mines. I think that one mine did land on those tanks, though. The tank's doing a great job sniping the mines. And Flash scanning just to get rid of more mines and push his advantage, because now he does have the tank advantage, barely has the tank advantage, but another mine drags into the tanks, and this one's going to hurt a lot more. Flash losing his entire army right outside Lita's natural expansion, so Lita has an advantage now. And you can see it on Flash's face. He's like, all right, I'm very grumpy, as Lita's eyes just perked up, saying, wow, I have the advantage in a TVT over Flash. Excellent! Because Flash, he went through, I think I've mentioned this before, a 22-game winning streak in the Pro League in TVT. He's an absolute monster in this matchup. especially in late game. I mean, that's where Flash really shines, is in late game, so he always tries to get it to late game with turtling strategies, because he knows his late game control is pretty much better than any other Terran player on Earth. So, okay, now Flash doing his best to fight off the Vulture harassment. He's still getting a lot of mind drags in, and he let this one Vulture sneak into his main. Let's see if this Vulture will do much. Probably not a whole lot with the tank coming in now into the main. I'm going to try to pick off a couple more SCVs. Doesn't get anything done as Lita is expanding at the 12 o'clock. It's going to be a little bit longer before Flash can take his third base. Not to mention Lita's going to have troops down soon. He's going to be able to move out soon with a small troop. And now the 6 o'clock base is coming down for Flash, so never mind. He's going straight for that 6 o'clock base, even though he probably doesn't have enough units to protect it. Especially against this Vulture harassment. Here comes more Vultures, just laying mines at little strategic spots that Flash might run into. I mean, Flash has just fallen right into these mine traps so far in this game, so might as well lay a few more. And Flash working on probably his final upgrade for his Vultures. Speed, most likely. I think he has mines at the moment. Well, he might not. I haven't seen any more mines from Flash. I saw a bunch from Lita, of course, but no mines from Flash. Okay, Lita floating over with his barracks. Barracks finally going to go down. It is in red. But he's using it as an even better scout, getting the scout on that 6 o'clock base on the way down. Lita getting a nice surround with the Vultures. He's got to get his own Vultures out of harm's way, but taking down more of Flash's units, and he has way more tanks than Flash. So if he pushes this and sieges just the right place, he'll be able to take down Flash. Some nice mine dragging again, just putting the mines at just the right place. I'd say that Flash is a little bit sloppy there, but now he's getting a good surround with his tanks, so he's going to be able to hold this. I was wondering where those other tanks went. He had them kind of positioned. He had a couple in the middle, a couple next to that 6 o'clock base. Look at the mines from Lita just destroying Flash. If Flash is going to lose this game, it's going to be because of these mines. These mines have been pretty insane from Lita. So Flash got to pick it up a bit. He is transferring his SCVs down to the 6 o'clock position and transferring even more down now. Starport on the way for Lita. He has more factories than Flash. And he has his third base up sooner than Flash at the 12 o'clock position. So I'd say Lita is definitely in the better position now. He has more food count, about 20 more food count than Flash, and he has better mineral intake because of his earlier third base. So he's going to try to push that advantage and kill Flash even more next to his 6 o'clock base. Trying to get the surround with mines yet again. Flash doesn't have a good opportunity to snipe the mines, so he's going to lose his troops yet again to mines. But luckily for him, Lita only has one tank down here, so he's not going to be able to fulfill this attack all the way. And Flash knows this, so he's pushing all the way to the side of this high ground, try to take the entire high ground down at the 8 o'clock position. He'll probably be able to do it, too. So, okay, Lita taking his fourth base now, riding on that economic advantage, but Flash, as if by star sense, senses that he's going to try to go up with the Vultures to take it down, but being spotted immediately by Lita. Both these guys are on top of this game at this point.